We are talking goose call tuning. Today I have the new KES Nodak, and it's also in our new finish, the flat finishes we offer. Of course, normal, have polished acrylic. This is our flat acrylic. But I will go through the process of tuning a goose call because everybody's got that person that wants to play with a goose call. If it's you or anybody, they'll take it, oh, let me look, just pull it apart, put it back together. Next thing you know, it does not sound the same. It doesn't sound right. So if you're going to do that, everybody gets spit, gets dirt, stuff in their calls. You want to take them apart, you want to clean them. So it's good to know what you are doing when it comes to that so you can put it together back out in the field. So I'm going to go through the process of what we're going to do here for tuning a goose call. Now, in my tuning kit, which we like to keep, is most of your reeds that people have for goose calls, they're not cut straight across. They are a double-sided reed, so you can turn them either direction. And a lot of times what somebody does, they'll take like a Bic pen or something like that and stick in the backside, and what it does is it will actually damage the backside of the reed, which can affect the sound. So what we come up with and doing is a wooden dowel, and we cut a notch in it so it will actually slide past that reed in the backside. And what you do is, of course, pull the reed or pull the goose call apart, slide that in above the reed on your stopper, and you can take it and push it straight out like that. And then that gives you access to everything you got going on here. I mean, you got your tone board, you got your reed, and you got your stopper. Now, one thing too, a lot of times is over years your O-rings will go bad, so you need to change those out. You can pick those up at the standard hardware store or anything like that. I mean, we can even drop the link in there for what kind of O-rings and stuff, but it's standard rubber O-ring. Just make sure that it is the right size to go around the calls, and those vary depending on what call you got, what manufacturer. So, but that's one thing you can change out. And two, I would recommend putting lips balm on that to preserve it for one, and it helps you pull the call back in and out, because if you want to pull it apart real quick, pop the reed because it's got ice on it or anything like that, and in late season it lets it come apart fairly quick and it won't freeze up. It kind of keeps the water out of there. But we're going to go into the process of tuning the call. A lot of times you want to select a reed. It's of course your tone board and everything like that. And the key to it is you take the reed and you want to pinch it and see which way it bends. This one, of course, you can see it's bending up. So I want to flip it. And that is the side that I want pointing up. So what I want to do is I want to put that on the tone board here, and this place you want it sitting just barely inside the lip of the tone channel. And then of course your stopper. The longer you make it, the deeper, harder it is. It's a little bit harder to blow. The shorter, the faster, the higher pitched it will be. So we're going to start out here. We're going to slide it into the insert and make sure that it's tight. I will take, a lot of times I will take my thumb and I will push that reed down into the tone channel to make sure that's where it stays. And then I will push it in and get it tight. One thing you don't want to hear, so if you take that reed, you don't want to hear a clicking sound right here. You can see that it just goes right down inside of that tone channel. If it's hitting it, you hear a clicking sound, or it hits it and it don't go down in there, then you gotta get it fixed up to where it is dipping down in it, or it won't make the goose sound, won't break over. Then back together. See, not a fan of that, and I see why, as I actually grabbed an old shaved reed out of my tuning kit, so we're going to have to redo that one. Switch that up, we'll get a different reed. Get everything out. Get another reed here. We throw that one away, because I think it's actually split and I didn't see it before I did that. Let's repeat the same process here. See which way the reed tips. We'll put it back together. Make sure that reed's dropping down into the tone channel. Get your stopper there. Make sure that's tight. We got a little bit shorter, so this may be high pitch. We'll see here. It is high pitched, but it is functioning well. I mean, some guys, they like it like real super easy to blow, and the shorter the reed, the more it is, it's going to break over quicker. But for this, it's not what I want, so I'm going to lengthen it out a little bit. I kind of work it back and forth, kind of pull it back out so the reed is longer. We'll set this back in here and get the reed to where it just dips down inside. Line everything up, push it back into the caul. Reed still dips down in there. One thing that I'm going to say about taking a goose call apart, if it's where you like it and you don't want to change it, but it's got some debris, spit, some people chew snuff, food, whatever in it, and you want to clean it, a tip that I always tell guys to do is when you take it apart, don't take it apart all the way right off the bat, but get yourself a Sharpie, 5-point Sharpie, and you're going to mark 3 things. You're going to mark your stopper, you're going to mark your reed, and then you're going to mark your tone channel. And what that will do is if I line those all back up and shove it in there, it's going to be money every time. It will be spot on. It will be exactly where you want it. Now, if you do change a reed, you can base it off of this point right here where you've marked everything. You know it'll be pretty stinking close where you want it to be when you put it back together, even with a new reed. So if you do put a new reed in, then you'll know your set point so you can get back to it.